Hello, Lions. My name is Brandon Cutler with the Oakville Trafalgar Lions Club. With me is our club president, Lion Bob Caster. Bob is also the chair of the Childhood Cancer Initiative for District A711. Also with us is the newest member of our club, Lion Val Caster. Thank you for making time to attend our session on childhood cancer. We hope that you're enjoying the convention and that our session motivates you to help us take action to improve the lives of children with cancer. As you know, Lions International has identified 5 global causes to help meet emerging needs in today's society. Those being diabetes, the environment, hunger, vision, and childhood cancer. And our objective through this session is to draw your attention to childhood cancer. Some facts about childhood cancer. Sadly, childhood cancer is more prevalent than you might realize, with a child being diagnosed with cancer every 6 hours. There's also been a 13% increase in the incidence of childhood cancer over the last 20 years. It's also important to note that the average age at diagnosis of children with cancer is 6 years of age. Tragically, 1 in 5 children with cancer will not survive. And of those that do survive, 95% will develop chronic, life-shortening health problems. And 80% of childhood cancer survivors will develop life-threatening health issues. And in a minute, I'm going to turn it over to Lion Val to share her experience with childhood cancer. During her presentation, you're going to see photos of children with cancer. I ask you to please think about what it must be like for these children and their families, and think about how important it is that we come together as Lions to help make a difference. Over to you, please, Lion Val.
Thanks, Brandon. Hi, Lions. I am Lion Val Caster. I am the mother of 2, the beautiful freckle-faced warrior queen Avery, who is forever 14, and Kai, 14 months. I am speaking about a cause that is dear to my heart, the Avery Childhood Cancer Research Fund. Avery's 6.5-year battle with cancer and my journey with childhood cancer. Avery was born February 6, 2005, healthy at 7 pounds 4 ounces. She met every milestone early with determination. Avery was a healthy baby, toddler, and young child. January 2013, at 7 years old, Avery started to show signs of a typical flu: vomiting, headaches, fevers, and dizziness. This started days after returning from vacation in Disney World. So as any parent, I dismissed it to exhaustion and delicious, unhealthy vacation food and treats. After 2 weeks of back and forth from the family doctors, specialists, and the hospital, on January 31st, 2013, through a CT scan, a 5-centimeter mass was discovered on Avery's brainstem. Avery was rushed by ambulance to McMaster Children's Hospital and into the pediatric ICU. Avery had a 6-hour brain surgery the next day in an attempt to remove the tumor for her best chance of survival. My daughter Avery's reality is sadly not uncommon. A child in Canada is diagnosed every 6 hours. Every 6 hours in Canada, a child in a child's family's world is vastly changed. 1 out of 5 children of all childhood cancer diagnoses will not survive. Avery was the one. Childhood cancer occurs regularly, randomly, and spares no ethnic group, socioeconomic class, or geographic region. Although advances in research have improved the chances of survival in Canada, many children die from this disease. High-risk cancers, including those of the central nervous system, brain tumors, certain leukemias, neuroblastomas, and bone cancers, still have a relatively low survival rate. Unlike adult cancers, the cause of most childhood cancers are still unknown and are not linked to lifestyle or environmental risk factors. Cancer is the #1 killer of our children from age 6 months to young adulthood, with brain tumors being the top killer. Childhood cancer kills more children than any other childhood disease. A child's chance of getting cancer is 1 in 285. Your chance of winning the lottery is 1 in 175 million. People in Canada give more of their money every day to the lottery or to Tim Hortons than the amount of money given to childhood cancer research in an entire year. The average age of childhood cancer diagnoses is 6 years old. Adults is 63. Avery was 8. The average loss of living years for a child that does not survive is 71, and adults is 6. Avery lost an average of 63 living years. Adult cancers get 95% of all national cancer research funding. Childhood cancer is constantly underfunded, sadly accounting for only 5% of all national cancer research funding in Canada today. The Canadian Cancer Society only gives 2% of all funding to childhood programs and less than 1% to childhood cancer research. Today, in 2021, there is no cure for cancer, just treatments in hopes that cancer will not rear its ugly face again. Sadly, when it does, it comes back stronger, more aggressive, and harder to treat. Avery was diagnosed with stage 4 high-risk medulloblastoma or brain cancer 1 day after her 8th birthday on February 7th, 2013. Through a routine scheduled MRI in September 2015, some concerning spots showed on Avery's MRI. The MRI was repeated in October 2015. I was told soon after the concerning areas were a relapse. Avery was 10 years old. Again, in November 2016, at 11 years old, through another routine MRI, I was told once again that Avery had relapsed. Avery never relapsed with a tumor at the original site on her brainstem. That part of her brain never saw cancer again. At the time of relapse, Avery's cancer came back aggressively. It appeared in 2015 in one of her ventricles, and in 2016, the cancer then started coating her brain like a sheet. Avery never lived after November 2016 without cancer in her brain. Canadian statistics will show us that the 5-year survival rate for children diagnosed with cancer is 80%. Avery was the 80%. She lived, survived, and thrived for 5 years after her diagnosis. Avery lived for 6.5 years after her initial diagnosis. Over 6 years, 2 months, and 3 days, Avery took on the biggest challenge of her young life, to beat cancer. Avery underwent radiation therapy, 30 sessions for frontline treatment. Surgeries, she had 3 brain, 2 in attempt to remove as much tumor as possible, 1 Ommaya insertion. An Ommaya is a device with a tube inserted into the brain to administer experimental chemotherapy. 2 port insertions, 2 feeding tube insertions, 3 Mickey insertions, 1 port removal, 1 feeding tube removal, and 1 for a fistula. Chemotherapy. Avery had so many days we lost count. 1 year of frontline protocol and 2.5 years of experimental treatment with 3 different clinical trials. Cyberknife radiation. Avery had 5 treatments. May 15th, 2018, Avery suffers stroke-like symptoms, slurring her words and left side numbness and weakness, and had a 5-minute seizure at home. She was rushed to McMaster Children's Hospital. I was prepared that these episodes may be her new baseline normal. May 21st, 2018, Avery woke me around 4:15 a.m. as I slept beside her. She had a seizure that lasted 35 minutes. Throughout the day, she had another 2, one lasting 7 minutes and another 11 minutes. As a parent, you always remember every date, every time, and every moment. On May 22nd, Avery's team prepared me for the worst. My beautiful girl would pass in 2 to 3 hours. As a parent, I've had conversations, been told, and prepared for too many times for the worst. On July 23rd, 2018, Avery walked out of her hospital room, walked past the nursing station, walked to the car, and came home. Avery's primary oncologist used the word miracle to describe Avery after July 2018. And on August 24th, 2018, Avery's medical team took an unresearched, undocumented risk. Avery's team finished 5 more low-dose radiation sessions in an attempt to control and shrink the tumors. Avery was then over a person's lifetime maximum for radiation. Avery went through 6 years of rehabilitation, countless tests, hospital visits, and slept over 400 nights in the hospital with me sleeping beside her. Avery, because of treatments, had lost some of her hearing, had hypothyroidism, a cortisol deficiency, did not produce growth hormone. Avery was always the tallest in her class until cancer. Avery had cognitive and short-term memory issues. Avery was in the top percentile at a French immersion program for her school until cancer. In January 2019, Avery played pool in the Oakville Trafalgar Lions annual pool tournament. She was happy, she was sassy, and she was Avery. 2 weeks later, on February 4th, Avery was rushed to McMaster Children's Hospital again with stroke-like symptoms. Avery was admitted immediately. February 6th, Avery's 14th birthday, she had multiple seizures. Through imaging, Avery's team told me once again they saw tumor progression. A parent is always haunted by every date. Avery went home on hospice care. She couldn't walk, she couldn't find her words, and she was in diapers. She now slept in a hospital bed in our living room with me beside her on the couch. Avery missed out mostly on just being a child. She missed swimming and skiing and school that she loved. She missed half of grade 2, grade 3, and parts of grade 4 and 5, grade 6 and 7, and grade 8. She missed field trips with her peers, playing and hanging out with friends. Unfortunately, her team had exhausted all known cures. There was no more treatment options, no more clinical trials. Children diagnosed with cancer need hope. Families like ours need hope. Research with new clinical trials, new drugs, new treatments, and new perspectives give us hope. No child should have to suffer as Avery did. No family should have to endure a tragic loss of a child. Avery's brain tumor, medulloblastoma, is the most diagnosed childhood brain tumor. Medulloblastoma is responsible for 18% of all childhood cancer brain tumors and less than 2% of all childhood cancer diagnoses. Sadly, McMaster will see 3 to 4 cases of medulloblastoma in a year. The survival rate is 60%, and 40% of these children will relapse. Avery relapsed twice and didn't survive. McMaster Children's Hospital in Hamilton was our second home. McMaster is the children's hospital in our communities from Oakville to Niagara Falls to Kitchener and Cambridge and all in between. McMaster is a leading childhood cancer research hospital with some of those lead researchers specializing in brain tumors, specifically medulloblastoma. These researchers were Avery's team. These researchers are in need of funding to expand their research and develop new research to develop new treatments. The night of January 2013, when Avery's tumor was discovered on her brainstem, it was comforting with the fear of unknown to know it was not just a team of neurosurgeons and radiologists. at McMaster looking at Avery's MRIs and preparing for her surgery. A team in Kingston, Ontario, and another in St. Louis, Missouri were all working together for Avery. Avery relapsed in 2015 and again in 2016. Avery's primary oncologist and her team were consulting weekly with a team of pediatric oncologists and researchers from children's hospitals in Ontario, hospitals across Canada, and the United States. Avery was a name to them, not a patient number. Every one of these doctors were looking for a solution for Avery to survive. Avery spent 6 years and 2 months and 3 days fighting medulloblastoma. Avery's physical battle with this awful disease came to an end on April 3rd, 2019 at 5:10 p.m. 14 years, 1 month, 28 days, 2 hours, and 52 minutes. I was blessed to have my beautiful freckle face Avery physically in my arms and in my world. Avery fought bravely, courageously, and without complaint. She may have yelled, screamed, and protested for attention and show. Never once did Avery complain about having cancer. Avery would not want to be remembered of what she fought, but how she fought. Avery should be alive today. No child should pass away before their parent. No parent should outlive their child. Today, Avery would be 16 years old. She beat cancer twice. She surpassed and beat every odd against her, and she baffled the medical community and surprised her medical team every day. Today, Avery should be fighting with me about wanting to hang out with her friends and not with her family. Today, Avery should be learning to drive. Today, Avery has 2 brothers, Damien, 28 years old, and Kai, 14 months. Kai will never physically know his sister. Avery would give everything to everyone. Giving back and serving her community was part of Avery's heart. She enjoyed volunteering on McHappy Days for the Ronald McDonald House, helping at Lions events, and being one of Childhood Cancer Canada's ambassadors. Avery's giving heart continued after she left her physical body. Avery gave another the gift of sight through cornea donation the night she passed. Avery's giving heart is far from finished. Her legacy has begun. Avery's biggest passion, childhood cancer awareness. Avery wanted the world to know about childhood cancer, not for herself, for others, to raise much needed money for research so no other child has to suffer. Because of Avery, the Childhood Cancer Research Fund began. Avery and her warrior friends deserve and are worth more than 5%. A cure is needed and overdue. Avery was strong and spirited and was determined to continue to beat the odds and fight. Cancer robbed so much from a beautiful girl over the past years, but never had it taken Avery's sass, her stubbornness drive that forced her to achieve all she wanted to. She will be remembered for her feistiness, quick wit, her dimpled smile, giving heart, the Toronto Raptors and Raptors 905's biggest fan, her competitive nature and her willingness to kick anybody's butt in Uno, the Avery Childhood Cancer Research Fund, and most of all, her love for everyone.
Valerie, thank you very much for that moving and very informative presentation. Hello, everyone. My name is Lion Bob Caster. I'm currently the chair of the A711 Childhood Cancer Initiative. And I'd like to spend a few minutes talking about Avery's Childhood Cancer Research Fund with you. Avery's greatest wish was to find a cure for childhood cancer, not only because she had brain cancer, but because she did not want another child or family to suffer as she did. Avery's Childhood Cancer Fund was created to help fulfill this wish. It was created by Avery with the help of Lions Brandon, Val, and Bob in the summer of 2018. Avery's Childhood Cancer Fund was adopted by the Oakville Trafalgar Lions Club in September 2018 as a major fundraising initiative. Thanks to a motion by Lion Gary McDonald at our 2019 convention, the last convention we attended in person, the Avery Fund became a District A711 project. What that meant was that it was now owned by over 80 clubs and 1,400 members. How can Lions make a difference? Let's talk about that a little bit right now. Our goal is to raise $130,000 by harnessing the power of over 80 clubs in our district, and with over 1,400 members, we believe it is achievable. When we reach $65,000, we will apply to LCIF for a matching grant. At the moment, we have reached 40% of our goal. Actually, today it may be closer to 46% based on our numbers. And roughly half of that money has come from private individuals who believe in what we're doing. And the other half of the funds have come from very generous Lions clubs. Founded in 1988, McMaster Children's Hospital has rapidly become a leader in pediatric evidence-based care, collaborative research, and innovative leading-edge education. Our objective is to use the funds raised with the Avery Fund to purchase vital signs monitors, which will help to optimize the treatment process for kids with cancer. Your contribution will help improve the quality of life and chances of survival for kids like Avery. This is how we plan to spend the money. As I mentioned, we plan to purchase 6 patient monitors with approximate cost of $25,000 each. They are a compact and battery-powered unit, providing optimal flexibility and portability for the children. They feature Bluetooth connectivity, allowing healthcare providers to monitor the patients 100% of the time. What that means in reality is kids are allowed to get out of their beds, travel down to the cafeteria to have some French fries, or out to sit in the sunshine on the benches in the front of the hospital, taking their monitors with them. And if anything was to go awry, they could be responded to and adjusted immediately. The monitors also access up to 96 hours of physiologic data, enabling point of care and potentially life-saving decision-making. It also allows the researchers to gather information continuously to help make their research more powerful and all around better. These monitors are ideal for oncology, where potential medications require advanced monitoring at all times. For full information of the monitor, just go to Space Labs, look up the Cube monitor, and you'll get a full explanation there about what we're doing. At the Oakville Trafalgar Lions Club, my home club, Valerie's home club, and Brandon's home club, we are raising funds in 2 ways. We host the Bill Dix annual pool tournament, and funds raised here are donated to Avery's Childhood Cancer Research Fund. We also sell the t-shirt pictured here. Val could explain to you how the picture came to be. Valerie, could you take a few minutes?
Yep. So back in 2014, when Avery was in remission and doing really well, I asked Avery how she would like to give back to her hospital. And Avery likes something called bravery beads. And this is what they look like here. And what bravery beads are, they're a bead that symbolized everything that a child going through cancer treatments goes through. So every poke, every radiation treatment, every chemotherapy, every steroid, and there's even one for every time they throw up. And Avery loved these. So she said to me she wanted to design a bravery bead. So she went and she drew a lion and wrote courage. And like any true artist, she autographed it. And she asked her papa if him and his Lions Club would sponsor this for the kids at her hospital. And of course, they all said yes. And so every child that begins treatment at McMaster Children's Hospital, the first bead that they do receive now is the Avery Courage bead. And to raise funds to support the research fund, we had this graphic put on a t-shirt.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Valerie. And you can see the t-shirt being modeled by Brandon's daughter. Incidentally, she's my granddaughter. You need to know that. I'm a proud papa, and Valerie's niece. But anyways, the t-shirts are $25 each. They come in all sizes. To purchase a t-shirt or for more information, contact Valerie if you wouldn't mind at vcaster@hotmail.com. Val's phone number is 416-662-7870, and we would be happy to deliver these t-shirts to your home once you've decided to purchase. I'd just like to take a moment right now to thank everybody who is in our audience at the moment for participating in our talk this morning. We need your support big time, and so does the district, in order to achieve our childhood cancer research goals in our district. If you would like a club presentation or more information, please contact me, Lion Bob. I can be reached at rfjcaster@outlook.com, and my telephone number is 905-609-2999. Thank you very much, Valerie, for your participation. Brandon, good to have you there. This whole thing wouldn't be recorded without you. And let me say goodbye to everybody for now.